For all of you that have been asking, I'm just here to ask for the Silverado. It's back. It never left. I'm picking away at it. Last episode we got it running, put basically the whole drive line together. This episode, we're gonna make it look like a truck and drive it out of the shop under its own power.
No way. We got you. Not a chance. Not this time.
So Silverado was like, why does the Ford get a bus engine? I want a bus engine. We're gonna put a bus engine in Silverado. All I have to do is take everything apart and then put it back together again. Here we go. A couple things we need to do is cover up this firewall with some Be Quiet sound deadening and put my clutch pedal back in again.
All right, we got a Giraffe tool giveaway. That's going until January 31st. So get on the website, you can register, it's free to enter. If you do buy some merch off our website, any purchases from December 1st right until January 31st will get you extra entries into the draw. We got the pressure washer and the vacuum cleaner. So check out the products, register, buy your merch. January 31st is the last day to enter. Here we go.
All right, so some quick things. We're gonna weld in a V-band into the exhaust. This was the only piece that was missing. I think with moving the engine ahead, we can just get the exhaust underneath the firewall. So I'm gonna weld that. If not, it's still going to be, this piece is the same. I might have to modify this a little bit and sharpen that, but we'll worry about that when the cab comes back on again. We're gonna do the fan belt. I have to figure out my tightener. For some reason, the peg's in the wrong spot. And I have to put a drain in for the compressor. So the compressor here gets fed engine oil here, and it just lubes the bearing that spins it like a crankshaft, and then it just bleeds off like anything else. So since I already have the oil pan on and I forgot about this, I'm just gonna turn this fitting down so it's a press fit into the dipstick hole, because now we're at a rear sump. I can put a little line from here to here to catch the oil. And then we're gonna put the dipstick, just pop a cap out of the back of the 24 valve block, and then we can put our dipstick in. We're gonna pop that in. I'm more excited about getting this cab set and getting it drivable. So here we go. Okay, so trying to hook our drain up from our compressor into our dipstick tube, and I realized that no matter what, with these fittings that we've used for the fuel lines, I can't make the bend sharp enough. But then I started looking around the shop and realized that the dipstick tube from an LS also fits in there, fits in that hole perfectly, and I can bend it to the shape that I need and stick it in a compression fitting off of a transport truck airline. So they're both 3/8. Put a little bit of goop on there so it seals, and you're golden. Every time I run lines, I always make sure I do those nice little 90s in there, because if you have to cheat and go a little bit shorter because you're a bit short, you can do that. Nobody's ever gonna see that. Or you can make the 90 just a bit bigger and still make it look like it's professional. So here we go. Okay, so I have the exhaust tacked. In case I have to change it because the pipe hits the firewall, but I won't know until I drop the cab on, and I won't know that until I prep the cab. So we got to put the master cylinder in there for the clutch pedal, and I have to put all my sound deadening inside and under oil it before we put it back down on the frame. So we're gonna roll this thing outside, we're gonna get the cab out of here and get ready to prep that. And then it's final assembly. Oh man, this is getting exciting. Okay, so we're about ready to put the cab back on the frame. Now, a couple things we need to do is cover up this firewall with some Be Quiet sound deadening, and also the inside, but also put my clutch pedal back in again. And there's a couple bolts. The spots are there, but I have to drill a hole, and to do it nicely, we might as well take this whole dash out. We're here anyway,
we'll do the sticky mat on the whole inside of the cab. We already did the inside of the doors. Finish this off real nice. And we made a video on how to do this already. Biggest trick is to pull these things out, the vents, and then there's a button you push in, a little plastic tab you push in, and then you pull this bar out this way. And then it's basically every 7 mil, and then these 2 bolts, and the bar down there, and I believe there's a couple on the dash here, and the entire dash comes out. So we'll do that. We'll clean everything up underneath there. We'll vacuum. We'll just put a tiny speck of rust right here. Everything else looks really good. So we might put one more layer of paint on there. It doesn't hurt. And then we'll exact same thing as what we did with the F350. Now that sound deadening worked amazing in the F350. The only thing I hear is my hydro boost. So we'll replace that yet. But this truck should be much quieter, even though we have compounds in there. But even with the compounds, it actually makes your truck quieter. All the air is going through, moving around, and if we can keep that nice and quiet going to the back, we should have a really nice sound coming out of this exhaust. That's 5-inch coming out the back, I think. And the Lyle's exhaust, so nice straight piped all the way to a decent muffler, nothing crazy. Just a small little guy there, you see that there? So we should get a really nice sound out of this. I just don't want it inside the cab. So we got the sound deadening on the firewall, and if you remember the F350, it had this like small little plastic, little cardboard thing on the firewall to suppress the noise, but the GMs, they do have this really nice molded thing that has all the holes and everything exactly where we want it. It's got the sides for the kickboard. All of that does quite a bit already, but this foam is okay. Definitely better than nothing, but we're gonna take that off and put the V-Comp on there, and that works really well. It's designed by Be Quiet to be exactly a good match for the sticky stuff we put on the inside. So we're just gonna basically copy this, and then we'll put this back on again. There's no way we can do it without, but it's about the same thickness, so we're in luck. Throttle pedal and the brake pedal, and this is my clutch housing that goes and bolts to holes or nuts that aren't there. So I weld some nuts to the back of this so that I can bolt this on with a little bit of room to move this around, and then we got to move the throttle pedal over. So what I did was took the throttle linkage off of, you can take the whole throttle pedal off of like a 99, 2000 or 2001, and then I think they went to electronic throttle body. But I still needed the TPS for my automatic transmission that I originally used in my truck. So I still fed it the 5 volts, and then I took the TPS off of that for the USS shift. We're manual now, so it doesn't matter. I might try to find a stock one so that it's just the pedal and I don't have this on there. But for now, we'll weld those nuts on there. We're gonna paint it. The whole clutch pedal and everything will be done. And that paint will dry while I finish up the last of the sound deadening. It's a spaceship. All right, so this follows the contour so nicely, this sound deadening stuff. Sticks really nice and tight. I stuck it everywhere. Oh, I gotta trim this piece yet. But very, very nice. You gotta keep in mind though that some of the throttle pedals are pretty tight. So once we add this, you wanna make sure that your pedal doesn't hit the carpet and not give you all the go-go juice. So I did cut this one and angled it up just a bit because it was close before. Figure before I painted everything, I would take care of that. And yeah, this is very, very nice. So we've got the mat on the outside now as well. So that turned out really nice. Now I put all my, it wasn't quite long enough to go straight end to end. So I put the seam where all my stuff is to hold everything to the wall. So that'll keep everything in place. And now we're ready to put the mat on the inside, and we put all of the V-comp on the inside of that. And then we can put the heater box in there. So we're almost there. Here we go. All right, this is probably the closest this truck has been to new since the day it was built. But we're in good shape. I'm going to put the cab back on the chassis. I got a little bit to do at the back here yet. I'm gonna put some sound deadening on the back yet. Start putting the plastics back in again. Before I do that, I'm gonna put it back on the frame. So we'll roll that outside, or at least back, and then cab on the hoist. Okay, so the cab is back on the frame and it is bolted down. That is the last time this cab is coming off. But now we got to do all of the little things inside here. So I think that I have a lot of space in the back behind this engine. And if you remember, I had the wrong oil pan on the engine because the one from the school bus has a lot bigger sump on it. So we got a smaller oil pan, but in the meantime, while I was figuring that out, I had these mounts. You can switch them back and forth, side to side, and move the engine forward and back a couple inches. I think I got to pick it up and put the engine farther back because this is actually really close to the radiator. But with the front off here like this, we can do all the other plumbing. We've got a hose right here coming out of the water pump, and that'll go nice and neatly in front of the engine here because we don't need the fan. Figured out the fan belt, except I need a slightly longer one than this. Got the right tensioner. We're gonna have pusher fans on the front so we can get rid of this little, essentially the fan drive, and do the belt just straight up like this. So that'll look pretty sharp. But then that hose is going to come and go straight into this line, which is the coolant for the compressor. And what's nice is the compressor will turn on right away and start making energy. It's going to start pumping this air. It's not going to get super hot right away, but it will heat up the cab quicker because we're going to go out of the compressor and then go into the heater core into the back here, and then out of the heater core and into the back of the head. So in the back of the head is a plug, so that's pointing nicely in the back here. So we're going to do some really nice routing here. Then the Hydro Boost, we've got our two fittings for the Hydro Boost here, so they're going to go up into the Hydro Boost and into the power steering. The steering, it's going to go into cooler and then back into a reservoir, and it's going to have a remote reservoir. I'm going to put that on the firewall, probably right back here, along with the vent can. The vent can goes to these fittings back here for any excessive blow-by, which we're not going to have until we tromp on it way too much. So I need to run to V&R and grab some hoses, but they're closed. And then I need to run to Lyle's as well because the exhaust is pretty tight. So we're going to move this engine back just a little bit, like another inch. And I am, half of it just kind of hits this hump, so I got to make like a special little corner here and then go down to the side and then run out the back. Got to run to Lyle's for that. They've got the best exhaust. They've already done the exhaust on this already, so they have some really nice stainless stuff and pie cuts and that, so I'm going to run there and get the exhaust for that. But they are also closed because it is the weekend. So, unfortunately, we have to stop the video here. I do want to say though, guys, if you go on our website and you become a builder member, you get discounts to all of these companies that we work with. So be quiet for all the sound deadening. Lyle sends a percentage back if you're a member. I was hoping to be a little bit farther, but I had to jump off this real quick. In the meantime, this week, I pulled the cab off the dually and disassembled the engine, moved all the injection parts over to the other engine with a buddy of mine down the road, Justin Hoover, so shout out to him. So we got that back together again. That video is coming up. Got a lot of stuff done on the Bronco as well. I was hoping to drive this thing out, which I said at the beginning of the video, and I apologize, but technically, we're right there. I can put my master in now, and then we can start running all our wiring for the lights and all that fun stuff. So I'm not sure if I want to go with the stock gauge cluster or use one of the Holly dashes. That will be soon to be determined, I guess. We have to see that in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate every one of you, and it was nice to put another 30 hours into this truck. Probably 30-40 hours to go, and then it's finished. So I will be driving this summer. I 100% guarantee you. I got a lot of stuff to do on the Edison, so we're kind of working on this behind the scenes, weekends and stuff, after hours. But I will be driving this truck this summer, I promise. Here we go.